Alright guys, welcome to Radioactive Sound Studios Lab. This is part 2 of my rewiring of my control room. So we left off last at my Yamaha MGP32X mixing console. And briefly got everything some routed. And some had to go back to my Argosy rack here. So I'll be on this side of the room now. Been up for half the time doing installation, soundproofing, and adding some bass traps and all that kind of good stuff. So it's like I'm still up again. So another whole 4 hours of wiring. But I did get the front half of the control desk up and running. So now I'm on the SideCar rack, my Argosy rack. So we're going to move the subwoofer and we're going to move the rack over to the other side. I do have another rack on the other side, which I'll do show y'all. And that's my digital rack for the Adobe DTS. And back out to 5.1 and 7.1 back in for my surround mastering. So now I'm on this side, getting all this patched in. So this is the Yamaha sub. I'll move this over again. So I end up getting all the wires all gauged up. I only use pig hog, so I got them all wired up. I did isolate the power bricks, so I did add those up. The other ones I did kind of like gauge around and went all the way down the wall behind the desk, so I did get those already routed in. Now as for the subwoofer, this is the right side, this is the left side, this is the incoming from the right side of the HS8, and this is the left side coming in from the HS8. And these going back out to the mixing console, my Yamaha MGP, and this is the first bundle, 25 feet, and that's the second bundle. The other one's all the way inside the wall, going all the way down. So we have a massive wire. So we're going to go in the back of the rack and show y'all how I got that stuff already wired back in, even though I'm going to move the subwoofer to the middle position. All right, so we got the first firmament already in already. And I had the 3630. This is going to be for my side chaining out. I added another power conditioner. And my Kamei Lab 7603 MicPreAmp already been in there already. I just added a fan vent for the heat sink. And this is also going to be where the Drama 1972 microphone preamp is going to be at. So this space is reserved for that. And this is the 7721 stereo VCA bus compressor. That's going to be for the overall mixed bus. And this is the second one that I use normally for ducking and gating, the Alesis 3630. And this is the 1066 DBX. I use this on the stereo groups 1 and 2, pan to the left and the right. I use these for my mastering on my outgoing signal. And this is the 166. I normally use this for my voiceovers and compression for my microphones, stuff like that. So this is the rack I already had set up already, pretty much, predominantly. So let me go to the back and show you how I wired it all up. And it's going to be moved over to the middle position anyway, along with the subwoofer. So let's show you how I get all wired up, part 2. All right, guys, what you're looking at all the way down there is the other side of the room. 10 feet all the way down to the other side of the wall. All gauged up on the side of the wall, if y'all can see, all the way down. Power bricks are isolated to the wall. Going around the Argosy stand. Patched in for the subwoofer. Going all the way back up. All right, so now we're at the back of the Argosy rack. All right, so let's start at the bottom. I did isolate this too also because normally, guys, when you wire, you're going to put power down one side and ID on the other side. So I had already separated everything. So let's go ahead on and show y'all what I did have already wired in. All right, so all the way at the bottom, we have the 166. It's already wired in already for the bottom half. These two right here are sending returns going back to my subgroups. Left side controls the right side, so it's already programmed. And then the next top one up here, which you see right here, is the 1066, already going back out to left and right. It's going back to subgroups 1 and 2. And the 3 is reserved for the 7603 microphone preamp, I believe. And it comes back on channel 7. So this is the 7721 stereo VCA bus compressor, which I'm going to patch in because I actually took everything out. So I'm going to patch back in to actually move this back over to the second part of the subgroup and install this on the opposite side of the console. But mainly it's going to be through the side chain out. And I'll use that for a trigger in the source, and then the left and right because it's 2 in, 2 out. So I go back to the console. Now up here is the microphone preamp. So we have this going into the power brick, and then the microphone goes into the power brick. This is going out to the console on channel 7, power down one side. So what I did is I isolated everything and then added 2 power conditioners at the top, left and right, and that kind of had everything all wired in. So I did a pretty good job. Like I said, I'm still up and running because even though I had everything all wired in, it was actually perfect because I had everything already set up. And then I'm going to take this off of the stand and set it on the floor and roll the whole entire cart under the mixing console desk. So that way I can be able to reach over and turn it. But that requires me to move and locate the subwoofer. So I'm going to set it off on a sort of a riser. That way it'll be isolated from the floor. Even though it's pushing pretty hard anyway, it doesn't really give a shit, but it's doing pretty good the way it is. So I'm just going to lift it up off the floor and set it on that, so that way to be isolated from the floor anyway. And I have to unchain all the monitors and move everything all the way around. But as far as everything down there, everything is set. So I push the desk all the way down, and I have everything already set up and ready to go. So that's the other desk right there that you see that's in there standing up. That's the one that's supposed to come on this side. It's going to be on the L shape, continuing from the edge of this part of this desk part going all the way across to the opposite side of this part. Then I'll also move the shelves out. So they're out and they're moved. Power was already routed off already. So I had already installed it already. This is going back out to the main whole cart, powering the first power conditioner. That's powering this power conditioner right here. So what I did is I assigned this as the master power conditioner, and this is the secondary power conditioner. So that way this is plugged into this. So when I turn this off, this goes off. So I have 2 different switches. So what happens is that this is the overall power master for the entire rack. And everything that's on this side controls the Yamaha station. So all of the Yamaha are controlled by this switch here. So I have the HSH, I have the HS8 monitors, I have the subwoofer, I have the mixing console. All of these are plugged on that, so I can just turn that one power conditioner off and turn off the whole entire Yamaha system, versus then having this control the opposite end, so I can switch between 2 different systems. So it's pretty cool. So I got everything all wired in, and everything looks pretty badass so far. So I'll give y'all guys a shot. This is part 2 of my rewiring session. And for some of y'all guys who can't see, I'll just do a light under the bottom to show y'all guys what was already wired in already. So I don't know if that's too bright, but yeah, let's see. Okay, it should be about even, so that way y'all guys can get a better closer look. You can see where all the sending returns are plugged in at. One asshole got on my channel and was like, I don't know why you plug it other side, because what his dumb ass didn't know is that you don't have to return it back. You can just send it, but you don't have to return it back in. But that's what his dumb ass didn't understand. So I'm glad y'all guys didn't really pay him no mind. Plus, he's been blocked anyway. So guys, if you're leaving any kind of comments that I don't particularly like, you will be deleted anyway. I don't give a shit. And actually, I did some checking on his channel. He has no equipment. He has nothing. So usually the people who don't have shit are always on somebody else's page telling them what they should do. So I thought that was kind of funny. And I'm going to show y'all what that was about, because he didn't understand what that was going on to. So what happens is that these 2 compressors at the bottom, the 1066 and the 166, are on the subgroups. The first one at the top that you see, let me set the flashlight down. Let's see if I can move it across. All right, it's off. So this one right here, which is a 1066, it's in stereo mode. So which means is that I'm having left and right go back to the console on subgroups 1 and 2. So when I pan over to subgroups 1 and 2, I have them pan left and pan right. All I have to do is select on my console 1, subgroup 1, and it's actually 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 because I got 4 subgroups. And 1 and 2 controls this 1066. These are the two for that, left and right. Then at the bottom, I have the 166 going to subgroups 4. So all I have to do is click 3 and 4, and then it will send it to subgroups 3 and 4. Now, there's another subgroup that I'm going to be wiring out to also that I'm going to do. That's why I just took the 166 and took it back to the insert on the channel itself, channel 7. And then I was able to have this free to go back 2 in and 2 out. Since this is a 2 in, 2 out, I take this back to the main console and have this as the overall stereo bus for the entire mixing console. And that would be the Chameleon Lab 7721 stereo VCA bus compressor. On the bottom, you see the DBX 1066, and then you have the 166. You can go all the way up. 2 power conditioners, at least it's 3630, and the other 3630 is right under the bottom of that. So I don't know if y'all guys can see that or not, but we have them too. The 2 3630s are both together. Actually, it's right up under there. It's all the way up under there. You can't see it, but it's up under here. Right there is a 3630. Another 3630. Now, with that one is gated, I'm going to be wiring that out too also. So I'm going to do is just use it sidechain out, as well as I'm going to use the sidechain out for this one right here. So that way sometimes I gate some things, sometimes I don't. So I got this already wired in. Powered on one side. I had to use the other side, like I said. And the monitors are already set up already. So I already had to move them already earlier. And I'm just working on more padding across the wall, and I'm in a corner now where I'm having to put everything all ready together. So this will be the part 2 of the wiring. Now I'm gonna go over to the front and show y'all what that particular situation was for when that idiot jumped on my page with no gear, by the way. All right, guys, so here's that part where the idiot didn't understand how to properly wire in. So this is my Yamaha 32X mixing console. Now I'm going to go over and show you what I was talking about. Okay, this is the leases. This is the DBX 1066 on subgroups 1 and 2. Now this is reserved, like I say, for my other preamp when I got coming in back in. So I'll reserve that back out to send out to that when I get it. And then this is for the 166 DBX. And that's in program mode, where though the left is controlling the right. And then this is the subgroup for that. And then all you do on my main channel, which I'll be over here whenever I want to, I just press this for subgroups 1 and 2, and then this will send it over to the 1066 DBX. When I click this one, it'll send it over to either the 166 or the new one I have coming in, the Drama 1972 microphone preamp. And then you can have it stereo or mono. Right now I have it in stereo. And this is my master section. Okay, now let me show you what else when the idiot got himself confused. All right, so all this right here, this entire snake right here is going into all of the analog channels 1 through 8. So it's going, this will be 8, there will be 7, there will be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All these 8 channels will be routed out to my interface. They're color coded and they're plugged in to the line level insert. Okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, I'm sorry, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the other half of the snake that's going back into the interface, which I'll be wiring it up next through the line in. That way I have 8 channels coming into the console. What dumbass didn't understand was he see me had the first 4 into the subgroups. And he thought that was supposed to be TRS coming back in, but what his dumbass didn't know is that I didn't want to return it back in. I was just sending it out to that. So let's just clear that up. You always got a dumbass that want to jump on your page for some bullshit. With no gear, by the way. All right, so this is the theater side of the other rack. I have to get this already set. It's already set up, but I'm gonna be moving it. Those two are gonna come out, and these two right here are gonna come out. Those are my two maximizers. They're gonna come out, and I'm gonna put them somewhere else. But right now, I just had to set them over there because I had just got everything already set in. I already had the subwoofer already isolated already, so I already have this already set up. Because I also do movies too, also, and record to my 5.1. So this is already set up, and I did add the two bass traps all the way to the end, and I went all the way across the wall with insulation. So right now I'm on the other side of the wall. Once I get that predominantly set up, I have everything already set up. So that's what I'm working on now, this half of the side of the wall, because I already had pretty much done this side and it's looking pretty good. Those speakers are going to be mounted somewhere else on the wall. So I'm going to unchain those and take those out. So the channel is going to be out, but the whole rack is already set up. Everything looks pretty much badass. So everything looks pretty good. The console is already busted in and wired in, so everything looks pretty badass. So guys, this is my second part 2 for the wiring of the studio. And like I said, I had everything all wired in. So let me show y'all guys, like I said, if you see those channels going out to the interface and local audio. And on the one at the top, which is the microphone preamp, the 7603 Chameleon Labs. On that, I'll be installing my Loudon Audio LA320 microphone. So that's my Loudon Audio LA320 microphone. And then on that, I'll be installing it on this preamp right here, where I normally have it at right here, my Chameleon Labs 7603 microphone preamp. So I normally will have that set up over there. So this is the overall situation that I'm dealing with here, but I've got everything all pretty much wired up. All the bricks are in nicely under the bottom. All the power are mounted to the wall under the bottom behind this console desk here. Everything's already set in, and that was the whole deal of getting all that together with the first one. So that's on part 1. So you guys go back to part 1 and check it out. Thank y'all guys for supporting the channel and giving me all the views that y'all pretty much gave me. And like I said, you always got some dumbass that want to kind of like say something stupid and don't really know what's going on. So everything looks pretty good. And then not to have any equipment, because I checked this page out, because actually when he left the message, I actually checked this page out and I looked at him. He didn't have not shit. He didn't upload nothing. He don't have anything. He don't do anything. So you always get some people that's kind of like want to say stupid shit. So as for the main power break, this is how I normally power up. Let's show y'all. Okay, I just hit this one right here. Oh yeah, and this is where the LA320 goes into there. So and I set, and then from there you come out. Has its own cable where you can just come out and plug into the microphone. So what I normally do is I power up here. That's the main power switch that turns on the whole entire rack. The 3630s, I turned them on independently because they on VC packs, so I had to separate the VC packs. That's what they have over. I have those plugged over there because mostly VCA packs usually introduce RF signals into the signal path, and I wanted them separated. And I even added them on isolators too also. And then you click the second one, which turns on the other stuff. And then everything's already on and set up. And there you have it. And then if I want to, I'll just turn the lights on. And they'll illuminate all the stuff that's got going on. So basically everything's already pretty much wired up. I just have to move the subwoofer and then roll the rack under the desk and get it all set up. Alright guys, so as you can see, everything's already powered on. And then also this is the computer playback like I was telling y'all guys. I press these two to turn on to assign back over to the 1066 dBx. This arms the channel. Then I select where I want to send the group to from the actual position over here. And actually, I got compressor already installed. It's already on this console. Actually, I have a multi-band compressor already installed on this channel. And this lets me know that it's also receiving the compression and let me know that it's in stereo mode. I could switch over to mono if I needed to. And I do have the matrix out to also going out to another system. Usually I normally use that to power stage monitors and stuff like that, sending different signals out to front of house. All this right here that's in the middle going all the way across, stopping to where the last bank, I normally reserve this for front of house. All these right here are going to the snake. As you can see, we're going down the line of all the 8 channels that are going out to the preamp. Out to the interface. So that's what I'm going to be wiring up next. And then as you can see, the whole entire rack is already illuminated and lit up for all the pre's. But I'll be moving them soon. So this speaker joins the second half of the side over there. And then I'm going to take out the subwoofer isolated from the floor and have it moved over to another section. So everything is pretty much wired up and set up and ready to go. And she's looking pretty good. And I'm pretty much pleased how everything pretty much turned out. So this will be a walkthrough for the last part 2. Oh yeah, and then as we left off last, this is the computer play in, coming in from the computer, and I also have it installed on auxiliary 1. This is auxiliary 2. This is for my iPad matrix, and sending out through different parts if I want to use it for ducking or anything else. But normally this is for my iPad in section here that I normally go out for my iPad. And these two right here, these are subgroups 1 and subgroups 2, which is over here on these 2 channels right here. So basically, these 2 right here are the 1066 dBx, left and right. Remember I said I skipped that other one because I got it reserved. This is subgroup 3. This is going to be reserved for the Drama 1972 preamp. And I'll be using that to come back out into that. And this one is going out to the DBX 166. And this is subgroup 4, which is over here. That's why you see the channel up. This is the one that's going to be reserved. That's why it's down. Okay. And then these are the 2 stereo mains, left and right, going out to the subwoofer, and that's the power in. These 2 right here are the assignment for the insert into the subgroup. Back into the insert, stereo insert for the entire console. So that way you have a compressor assigned to the stereo console. That's where the 166 is going to go. The 7721 stereo VCA bus compression is going to go here. Since it's a 2 in, 2 out, I'm going to route it back into the interface and bring it out through there and just assign it on the bus, on the actual interface, instead of bringing it into here, because these are 2 line level inputs. And the way this console is set up, it doesn't want you to come in with, it doesn't have it where it comes in XLR coming in. Since the Chameleon Lab 7721 is a 2 in, 2 out XLR. So that way, and it's not a problem anyway because I already have a compressor already assigned already. So all I have to do is click compressor. And that's the one I already have assigned. As you can see, it says multi-band and pre-fade. So I already have that set up already. It's already a multi-band already set up, and those are my settings. I got it set at the crossover set at 200 hertz, already good setting up. The out level is +4 dB, and the release is 65 milliseconds, and the high L/X is 2.0 kilohertz. And I got multi-band set up at heavy, so everything will be pretty ready to go. Now, as far as the EQ, this is my EQ settings. These are the settings that I do already have for the EQ. I didn't assign any effects yet, but what I did is I did set one to delay, and I did set one to room. So that way when I'm doing my vocals, I can already have it already set up and ready to go. Now this is the overall main set level, and this will be the USB in to record. And then when you click, if you want to set up anything, you just click setup here, and it'll take you through all your settings. And then back to your home button, which lets you know that you have everything already set in. Here's your record button, here's your fast forward button, here's your play button, and here's your rewind button. Up here is where you assign your flash drive. This whole console also records, and you can put your iPad here. You put your flash drive here, you put your iPad here, and you can go back out on another side. And then right here, you have it where you have an iPod or iPhone. You can go out, or you can use the playback in and record in. And then you have tons of features on this console, headphone out, preamp out. I mean, you just basically got everything that you need to have on this particular console. And this is the second portion of me setting things up. And then I also added isolators to also by the speakers on the left side, so that way when they do hit, it'll just throw the signal back. Because these monitors are pretty good, especially when it comes to me mastering. I heavily rely on these speakers when I master too also, and they are really the truth. Like I say, all my stuff sounds good. And it just throw the signal back towards the wall and come around, and it's separated from the wall out, and there's enough space for the sound to come around, so I can hear it pretty good. I just added isolators, bass traps in between, so that way it keeps the sound in between that one distortion and coming out towards me. The top part, sometimes bass get traps in the corners, so I just added isolators on the two corners. And then I actually rounded the pads off like this, so that way nothing gets in the corner and gets trapped behind it. It'll just seam over. So everything looks pretty good. And then I actually moved my controller out too also. So I actually had to move my controller and my secondary monitor on the console, on my bed, so that way I can just move both of my Blu-ray players are there. So this is my Nectar P6, which I got a lot of reviews on it on this particular channel. So y'all guys, thank y'all for giving me good reviews. So this is what I normally use, and my DAW of choice is Reasons. So I normally have that ready to go. So everything else looked pretty badass. So I'm just doing my whole room again, so everything looks pretty cool, to where I pretty much had everything all set up. So guys, I'm gonna finish getting everything all set up and rolling and ready to go. Oh yeah, by the way, my chair is by Serta. It's an executive style chair, high back. It's nice and comfortable, and she's pretty much a beauty. This controls my light switch too, also that remote. She's a beauty. So especially if you're sitting a long time, that's like the ultimate chair. It's by Serta. I think I got it for like $178, I think it was, at Walmart. It's pretty cool. Then I also have to get those shelves into also, those two shelves. So I'm going to be moving everything around. I'm just going to finish that wall with pads and get that all lined up. I just threw some already. They already expanded. That's why you can see them moving from out of the wall already. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and pin them back up. And I have those already set. That way it look just like that. Those ones over there at the wall. Because those are already expanded and ready to go. I just pinched them back up. So once I finish, I just go ahead on across and then tighten up the areas where the pads seem to be expanding. And then I have my gigantic monitor up already, which I normally have running already in the background anyway. So okay, so I just powered my Dell up. She's a Core i7. She's running pretty good too also. Pretty badass. She does what she needs to do. So everything is already ready to go. So all I gotta do now is just move that subwoofer over. I'm gonna try to locate her in the middle and move that rack and bring that out to this side right here, like I have this one. So if you look on this side right here, I got this one set on the angle already going across, so it's already pretty much set up on that angle right there. So you want it at ear level when you set in the chair, so the cone will come out, so it will be somewhat like this, from the cone to my ear to my chair. And that'll be my position spot. So I'll just move the second one in the same way. As you can see, you see it out of position. That's because I haven't got over that corner yet and finished doing it, because I was busy doing the installation. So I moved that and I have it right about there and about there for the ear position. So that'll be right to where my chair is, to the top of my chair, in that position there. And all the way across from top end, we already have everything already done in. I got the Dell already in already. I have my iMac stuff already set up too also, and the filters inside, and I do also have the pop filter interface and some microphones on the other side right here, and I do also have on the top side software and headphones. Headphones I normally use are the ones by Sennheiser 201, are my favorite headphones I normally use, and I have several pairs of those. And I do have 3 or 4 Shure SM57s in that bin there. This bin here is for the Nectar P6. I normally have all my controller parts inside of there, and wiring and all kinds of stuff. Over here is where I keep all the media, as far as blank cases, SD RAM cards, hard drive stuff that normally go inside of there. And then right up under here at the bottom, I have a massive hard drive, 3.5 hard drive. And I added a separate subwoofer to the second side. That way I have another low end. So when I do finish a track, I'll just listen through it today to make sure it's really at a lower level. Because over here on this subwoofer, it's going to spit out really hard. But I got a smaller one where I can listen to make sure the bass is pretty tight when I isolate. And then there's my Core i7. I got 2 power levels on both sides where that power is split between one side. So this whole station is divided in half. So basically one side of the console powers this side. The other side of the console powers that side. That way nothing's interfering with each other. And I'm also an electrician too also, so I had pretty much all of my stuff already pretty much ready to go. And everything looks pretty badass and set up the way how I want it to be set up. So everything looks pretty good. As for my tools, this is what I have. So I bought a lot of my electrician stuff up because usually I'll be wiring up and putting in different breakers and having everything all set up. So I normally really get into this whole ordeal, and everything is ready to go. So this area is already isolated already. This will be for the main, and I already tested it already. So everything was pretty much ready to go. I already put the multi-tester inside the wall after I did a whole new outlet. I actually rechanged it and put it inside. Redid a whole new outlet over here. So where everything was already pretty much ready to go. And I think, yeah, this is it right here. I used that to test out to make sure everything was good. So we'll do another test. So we do the light out. That way y'all can see the light out itself. As you can see, she's reading pretty good. Let you know she's pretty much already balanced and good to go. So we go ahead and get the main light out. This lamp is going to be an additional lamp in this corner too, also for another side. So everything else will be ready to go. And I didn't really had to use too much of any screws or anything because I was normally using these tacks right here. I'll show y'all which ones I normally use. Alright guys, that'll be it for my second portion of my studio rewiring. I got a lot of rewiring to do to move over to that second side. And I just want to thank everybody for checking me out, and don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to my channel if you like what I do. And thank y'all guys for being so awesome and checking me out. And feel free to check out all the other videos that I do also have on my page. And check the first one, which is studio rewiring number 1, so that way y'all guys can be back to the beginning. This is part 2. So I just want to thank y'all guys for making all this happen and checking me out and liking what I do on my channel. So this is pretty awesome. To sit here and do a second portion after getting so many good reviews on the first one. So thank y'all guys for all your support, and as always, keep the control room and keep everything you do creative and then spontaneous for yourself, and try to buy the gear that you like and invest in things for your studio and your lab to be more creative in your ideas. So thank y'all guys for all your support, and see you all in the next video. Peace.